one of these gentlemen, his parents were told that he was dead. Now, is it candidate number 1, 2, or 3? I think it's Fred Ray. Please tell us that story. As a mother of a, anybody who's a parent, you don't have to be the mother of a military person. When you get that news, that must be, words would fail me.
Well, what happened?
Yes, tell me.
We went over to the ball field and we didn't get relieved. And so the next day when they took their first muster, I wasn't around. Because we were told not to leave. Well, we stayed over there until the next day. And then they came over, and they had forgotten about us. And so they sent telegrams to all of us that was over there.
Oh, so you weren't just singled out. It was all of you in the ball field.
Yeah, there was about 30 of us.
Oh, so there were 30
And we were all reported
parents.
dead.
And when did you find out that had happened?
Well, I didn't find out for about 6 weeks. But in the meantime, they had a service for me. Let me show you my picture.
Oh, for heaven's sake, he's got his own bit. He's already well prepared. Forgive me, I need to look at this. Oh.
They rigged loudspeakers on the outside of the church because the church was
full.
full.
There's a picture draped in black and the wreath. And there was a service for Frederick Ray. May he rest in peace. Where did this memorial service take place? I mean, we laugh now, but this
Caryville, Missouri.
Well, yeah.
What's
He's
that?
a heartbreaker here.
What's that?
What's that? I hope that's you, babe.
Oh, yeah. That was before they had color pictures. They had that taken over in Honolulu, and they painted it.
Painted it,
yeah.
Yeah, we have some old tent pictures in our family too. Well, I'm sure your parents must have been devastated. What did you think about all this when you found out?
Well, my dad tried to get back in the Navy, but they said he was too old because he was the one that signed for me to go in.
Oh.
Because I had to get permission, being under 21. But,
our mail was all very censored. And if you wrote anything about where you were or what you were doing or what happened, it was torn out of our letters to our parents.
Right.
My folks didn't find out till I got out of the hospital.
That you even were in the hospital?
That I was even still alive or where I was. They knew I was out at Pearl Harbor, of course, because the ship prior I'd told them that we were out there.
Right.
But at that time, we couldn't tell them anything. And my mother didn't know about where I was until probably middle of January, 1st of February.
I just can't imagine being at home, and I would go nuts. I would go absolutely bananas, not knowing where my son is. So, and believe me, I'm the kind of woman who can make 3 phone calls and track that boy down, even when he was in the Navy. Now, how about you? What about your folks?
Well, I'm sure that my mother raised a little rumpus around. And it was probably 3 or 4 days before we got, any messages across.
Well, all those ships, I mean, one of you gentlemen, I should have looked this up. How many did we lose that day?
2,800.
2,800. And when they report that, you can imagine all the parents. I mean, Lord, there was a ton of ships there, which means hundreds of thousands of sailors are all wondering if one of those is my son or husband, as the case may be. So, we're quickly coming to an end here. Do you have any sidebar stories you want to tell us about your experience with Pearl Harbor when you saw all the devastation? I mean, what was your thoughts?
Well, I didn't see much. I felt it because we got hit and lost our lights and power. And I knew our ship was dead as far as getting any place, but when I left the ship, they took me over to the beach, and the car that they put me in went right past the Pennsylvania and the Castle and the Downs, and I could see them down there in the dry dock, and they were a terrible mess. and all I could see back of the rest of the battleships was smoke and flames coming out, and that's all I could see.
Well, you know, did you spend time in the hospital there, or did they just send you to sort of a little convalescent wing?
No, I spent about 6 weeks in the hospital.
Tell us about that. I mean, there must have been a lot of activity in that hospital.
Well, there was, and I was up on the lanai, up on the second deck, and I could see out where the gurneys would go out to the dead man's home, and every 5 minutes they was carting out dead people, dead people, dead people. Then about, I suppose, 2 o'clock that morning of the 8th, some of our planes were coming in from a carrier that had headed out to Pearl. She launched her carrier planes, and they were coming in for landing at Hickam Field. And they come in with their lights on, and all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. Every gun on the island fired. They shot down one of our own planes coming in there, and I saw those planes coming in, and I saw the one get hit and go down.
What a shame. I would think they would know about that, but maybe because of security reasons they were afraid to do anything.
Communications, they didn't know how to get hold of them.
Oh, I see.
We expected an attack that night. We thought they was coming ashore. I was firing my rifle at them.
Right.
But I didn't hit them, I know.
You saw the planes come in then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not...
Yeah, it was about midnight, something like that. Say, I see you don't have a Purple Heart. They give Purple Hearts for that now.
Well,
they were a lot harder to get there.
I never worried about the Purple Heart. I worried about this heart.
You had to have an arm shot off to get a Purple Heart.
Fred, tell us anything you want to say before we have to go. Your closing.
Well, just looking at the paper here, I see that my folks thought I was dead for a month. Because this is the 8th of January paper, and it said that I had just been reported.
No, is that the paper I actually held up?
I don't know.
I'm not sure which one you gave me.
That's the one that says that I was found alive or something.
Okay. January 8th, 42, it took them to find out that their son wasn't dead. Lord have mercy. Now, you obviously made the Navy a career there, Chief. And
I didn't know how to do anything else.
I got to compliment you that you can still get in your uniform. What did you do after Pearl Harbor and your ship sank? Where did you get assigned?
Well, the day after, 2 days after the war started, then I went aboard the Astoria, which lasted 8 months. It lasted till August.
Now, what kind of ship is the Astoria?
It's a heavy cruiser.
Okay, and where did you end up going? Because clearly no one was staying on the California at that time.
I went to CVE 100, Bougainville, USS Bougainville, a small baby flat top. After we got to California repaired, I got a commission and went aboard to Bougainville.
Okay, so it took you this long to get back together. Incredible. Okay, now what did you do, Ken, after, well, I don't know, did you stay on the Honolulu?
I stayed on the Honolulu for a year and a half.
And then where did you find yourself?
Then I went on to another cruiser, a light cruiser out at, that was after Guadalcanal and Bougainville and Munda.
So by the time you got out of the Navy, were you settled down a little bit, Ken?
Oh yes, I'm a very nice, quiet guy now.
I imagine after all that hell on December 7th, if that doesn't quiet you down, I don't know what would. Well, folks, we've come to the end, and this has been such a delight to have you three gentlemen here and your comrades with the Pearl Harbor Survivor Group, and it's just been wonderful having you. So let's remember to pray for our troops and pray for our leaders, that they make right decisions, and keep praying for a swift end to this war. It was nice having you. I hope you enjoyed this group of men as I have. Thank you for serving your country, and thank you for being guests on Veterans Forum. God bless you.